My sister Laura weighed over 200 pounds. After binge-reading romance novels, she became obsessed with transforming herself. To lose weight, marry a billionaire, and live a life of luxury. One night, she saw an online ad claiming that tapeworms could make you slim without effort. She demanded $3,000 to buy them from a private overseas supplier. My mother emptied our savings. Even my college tuition, which I'd earned through months of part-time work. I warned her. Laura, tapeworms are parasites. They don't make you thinner. They eat you from the inside out. But she just smirked. You're jealous, she said. When I get rich, you'll thank me. That week, she convinced my parents to sell me to an old man from down the road named Mr. Turner. When I refused, they broke my leg and locked me in the pigpen behind our farmhouse. 2 weeks later, Laura proudly announced she had lost 90 pounds. Everyone cheered, until the parasites began eating her liver. Desperate, my parents dragged me out of the pen. Sold me to Mr. Turner. And used the money to pay for surgery. The doctors took half my liver to save her. Laura survived. But my father blamed me for bringing misfortune. And Laura, furious that her body wasn't perfect, forced the remaining tapeworm eggs down my throat. When I collapsed, they dumped me in a roadside ditch. That was the day I was supposed to start college. Instead, I died. Bloated, half-eaten, and forgotten. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in time. The very day Laura first bought those tapeworms. This time I smiled. And invited them all to dinner. A tapeworm sashimi feast. The plastic bag on the counter held 3 slices of raw beef. Still dripping blood. Tiny white eggs pulsed between the fibers. A few of them still moving. Mother hesitated. Laura scoffed. Come on, Mom. The rich eat raw seafood all the time. It's called sashimi. Father nodded, impressed. Laura clasped her hands, eyes dreamy. When I marry rich, we'll never have to lift a finger again. They laughed, giddy at the fantasy. Then barked at me. Sophie. Stop standing around and help. I bit back my disgust and said gently. I just want to make sure my sister gets the freshest pieces. As Laura lifted a slice, I warned her. Don't chew the eggs. You have to swallow them whole for it to work. She smirked and gulped it down. Father and mother followed. Wait, I added. You can't have fine food without wine. Their eyes lit up. I fetched a bottle of homemade grape wine Father had buried years ago. He yelled at me for touching it. Until I mentioned that billionaires always pair red wine with sashimi. Then he grinned and agreed. I poured the wine, laid out toothpicks as forks, and bowed like a waiter. Dinner is served, my lord, my lady, and young madam. They giggled in our crumbling, wind-leaking house, pretending they were in a 5-star restaurant. Swallowing every egg. I almost laughed out loud. That night, I stayed awake watching them sleep. When Laura was born, a neighbor claimed she was a lucky star sent from heaven. My parents stopped working, believing she'd make us rich. I came later. Premature, sickly, unwanted. They called me the cursed one. Everything went to Laura. New clothes, meat, even my school scholarship money. I worked 2 jobs to save $3,000 for college. Only to have them steal it. They even tore up my acceptance letter. My future, shredded. So when Father and Mother plotted again to sell me, this time to old man Turner for $20,000, I didn't cry. I smiled. And prepared the next course of my revenge. 2 weeks later, Laura had dropped another 40 pounds. The worms were feeding well. Her skin turned yellow, her belly round. She blamed detoxing. Meanwhile, I asked Mr. Grant, our town's headman, to let me start live-streaming the local orange farm, Sunnyvale Oranges. Within days, I'd sold thousands of crates online. People liked my quiet smile. And they noticed the bruises I tried to hide. When father found out, he called Mr. Grant's phone, shouting, "You worthless girl. Your sister's sick, and you're selling fruit?" I muted the call and ended the stream. Comments flooding in. "She's being controlled. Someone help her." When I came home, the smell hit me first. Sour, rotting. Laura lay in bed, vomiting white, squirming mucus. Mother was retching beside her. I suggested calling a doctor. Laura screamed. "No one can know my secret." So I offered her strong tea to stop the nausea. After that, she stopped vomiting. Perhaps because there was nothing left inside to vomit. Then she demanded I find her a rich husband from my livestream audience. I lied. Rich men don't like women who show their faces online. Let me handle it first. She gave me 3 days. Soon after, Mr. Grant told me a big investor was coming to visit the orange farm. Father made Laura wear a tight pink dress from her slimmer days. She squeezed herself in, makeup melting into streaks, revealing the sickly yellow underneath. That night, she said calmly, "The investor's coming tomorrow. Old man Turner will pick you up tonight." They had already decided my fate. I smiled. "Let me greet the guests first, it'll make us look respectable." Father sneered. "Don't forget who holds your college letter." I bowed. "Of course." Inside, I whispered, "The show begins tomorrow." The next morning, Laura and my parents hid behind a tree near the road, waiting for their in-laws. The sun burned high. They crouched for 3 hours, sweating. Laura's makeup had melted into streaks, her skin a dull gray. Finally, a black car rolled into town. A man in a suit stepped out, followed by a kind-faced woman. Laura gasped and ran toward them. My parents hurried after her. And all 3 fell flat on their faces. "My husband!" Laura screamed. "My son-in-law," my parents cried. The man recoiled and kicked her away in panic. She grabbed her belly, shrieking, "You've ruined my womb. How will I bear you a genius baby now?" My parents shouted about dowries, first 5 million, then 1 billion. I stepped back, smiling faintly at the camera crew live-streaming the chaos. The kind woman stormed forward and spat at my parents. "Trash like you thinks you can marry into high society? You'll deal with the police." Mother froze, then screamed, "Oh my God, there's a tapeworm in my shoe. It's alive." Father's eyes widened. His pupils trembled. "Don't tell me. I've got them too." He snapped, snatched a knife, and cut open his own stomach. Warm blood splattered my face as pale worms spilled onto the dirt. Before collapsing, he screamed, "My house. My car. My money." The worms ate it all. The county paramedics lacked proper equipment, so they tried to rush the family to the nearest regional hospital. But the road was rough, and none of them survived the trip. By late August, I packed my few belongings, folded my bedsheets, and took one last look at that cursed house. The one that had once devoured me alive. My parents and sister were gone. The livestream incident had gone viral. The government awarded me $50,000, praising me for helping revive the town's economy. The kind woman, Mrs. Lin, who had stood up for me that day, ended up partnering with Mr. Grant's orange farm. They helped rebuild the community. When I arrived at college, news crews were waiting. The dean himself came out to greet me. Mr. and Mrs. Grant accompanied me, handing me a small card. "It's your commission from the orange sales," he said. "Study hard, Sophie. You're family now." I hugged them tightly. The sunlight shimmered over the campus gates. I smiled at the dean and introduced myself softly. "Good morning, sir. I'm Sophie Chu, Sophie, for wisdom. Chu, for new beginnings."